What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about something that came up on Vlad TV with comedian TK Kirkland, and that is Rihanna being a baby mama. And first, I do want to say that Vlad is feeling a little too comfortable, I think, talking about Rihanna, a black woman like this. So, my question is, who got Vlad feeling so comfortable? And the answer is black men. And black men, not all, but enough black men in the industry love white daddy Vlad. They can't get enough of their white daddy Vlad. They can't wait to get onto his couch, his sofa, his studio and get in front of the camera and just spill it all. Just tell everything to white daddy Vlad. Like he's their, therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, a very close friend. Black men have got Vlad's pockets and bank account looking real good. But from what I heard, Vlad does have a black wife, so at least you can get something from that. He's taking this money that he's gotten off the back of black men and taking it and spending it on his wife and our kids. And that's the only win I see in this situation. But let me get back on topic right here. Let me get back to the topic. So, at some point or another, during an interview that Vlad was conducting with TK Kirkland, he asked about, I brought up Rihanna being a baby mama, right? Because you guys know that Rihanna is currently pregnant by A$AP Rocky, and they're going to be having a child, but they're not married. And Vlad kind of has a bit of an issue with that. And during the interview, at least the clip that I saw, TK Kirkland, he did sort of kind of like help do a bit of damage control for Vlad and basically, frame it as basically Vlad not thinking that a woman of her caliber, Rihanna, should be married. Or rather, thinking that a woman of her caliber, Rihanna, should be married if she is having children. In which, I do think that would be, quote unquote, a better look. But I do think it is somewhat, quote unquote, off brand for Rihanna to be married. Because Rihanna strikes me as sort of a free spirit. At least that's kind of like the persona that she has. So I do think that a marriage would go against that and perhaps be a bit stifling for Rihanna. And I know some people are going to come through, especially some black women are going to come through, at least a few, and say, what's wrong with being a baby mama? Here's the thing. When it comes to Rihanna and her situation, Rihanna is a billionaire baby mama with a millionaire baby daddy. There's a difference. And I know some people going to be all like, money ain't everything. It ain't always about money. It ain't always about the Benjamins. And that's true. Money is not everything. Everything doesn't have to revolve around money, but at the end of the day, money is a factor. And I do feel like money being a factor is the reason why Rihanna probably isn't married, because I feel like Rihanna may think it may be better financially not to be married to A$AP Rocky, just in case when the honeymoon phase is over and things get real and you really see what folks are about, Rihanna will be in a situation where ASAP Rocky can't take her money, at least not nearly as easily. And we've seen this happen before with women in the industry when they are higher earners than the men that they're with. Once the divorce gets initiated, then the men are talking about spousal support and alimony, paying for this, paying for that. And Rihanna may just be like, nah, y'all ain't gonna get me. uh-uh. Y'all ain't gonna have me out here looking like that. I'll be a baby mama versus getting got and taken to the cleaners. And maybe that's where Rihanna is coming from with this. At least partially. And perhaps Rihanna may just not like the idea of being like committed in a marriage, even though a baby is a commitment with the parents. But, folks sidestep that commitment any time and place, any day of the week. But when it comes to the marriage, folks are a lot more selective about who they marry versus who they have their children with. Which is strange because the marriages can be annulled. They can be, folks can be divorced. You can't annul a child. You cannot divorce your child, at least not nearly as easily. Like your child can be emancipated from you at a certain age. Your child can be taken away from you by, CPS or defects or whatever the organization is called. Your child can be put up for adoption or, be given to another family member to raise, right? But usually it tends not to happen like that. And also when it comes to marriage and Rihanna and people, feeling like that Rihanna should be married, I feel like it's a big part of it is the optics, the aesthetic, the look. And they may feel like Rihanna being a baby mama, billionaire or not, is not a good look. And I can understand that because I do think that it'd be like, oh, well, Rihanna's just a baby mama now versus Rihanna is a billionaire who happens to be a baby mama. And I know that some people, again, are going to come through and be all like, looks aren't important. You shouldn't care about what other people think. I don't care about what they think. And here's the thing. While I do think those sentiments are true and that we should not just be so caught up on the aesthetics, the looks, the optics, at the end of the day, those things are important though. And Rihanna is a billionaire because of that, right? She has a makeup line. Makeup is geared toward making people, primarily women, look and enhanced. Makeup enhances women's looks, or people's looks, because, in the industry, men, they do put makeup on men. So right then and there, Rihanna has gotten her come up off of people's concern with looks, with aesthetics, with the optics. And the same people who are saying that, I'm sure that they're concerned about their looks and their aesthetics and their optics in some way or another. And there's also going to be some people coming through and being like, well, Rihanna ain't the only baby mama. The Kardashians, they baby mamas too. Khloe Kardashian, she a baby mama. Kourtney Kardashian, she a baby mama too. And the Jenners, at least Kylie Jenner, she a baby mama too. Y'all ain't talking about them like that. Them's my role models. I want to be just like the Kardashians and Jenners when I grow up. And the person saying this is like well into their 20s or 30s, by the way. But I do agree, you do have some growing to do if you view the Kardashians and Jenners as your role models. Then yes, you do have some growing to do. And I'll say that I do think there is some bias when it comes to, say, um, women who are baby mamas and they are white versus women who are baby mamas and they're black. I will say that there is some bias. And, folks aren't as quick to throw out the baby mama tag when it comes to non-black women. That is true. But let's not act like people don't come for the Kardashians or the Jenners either. They do. It may not be at the level that people would like, but it still happens. And people still are viewing like Khloe Kardashian in a certain light. And perhaps even Kylie Jenner as well. But definitely Khloe, though. But in regards to Vlad, perhaps maybe Vlad is coming from a good place. Although, he made sure to put this on camera to get some likes, some views, some subscriptions, some AdSense revenue. But I had forgot to mention earlier that, there are a few black men who got some issues with Vlad, like Godfrey. He very recently has been speaking out against Vlad. And Lord Jamar. And these dudes, they got their issues, but, Vlad done pimped them out already. So it's like, okay, he done made enough money off of you to kick you to the curb anyway. But better late than never, right? Hey, say what y'all will about Doja Cat, but at least she was smart enough not to go back on it once she had went on it. Because Vlad had said, I know this is a bit off topic, but Vlad had said that he did an interview with Doja Cat. And this is kind of like before, Doja Cat, blew up and became the next big thing in music and whatnot. And by the way, I do feel like Doja Cat could be the next larger than life musical artist. That's like the only person who's new, the only musical artist that's like new that I see it for. But back to the situation with Vlad. So Doja Cat did an interview with Vlad some years back, and she had requested that he basically scrap the interview. He refused to scrap the interview and put the interview out, and that was the end of their relationship. And I think she maybe wanted him to scrap that interview because maybe she went into some things that were a bit more personal that she didn't want to be out to be out there. Like, I think she had went into some things in regards to her father. Her father is a South African actor. And she doesn't really have much of a relationship with him or his side of the family. But to get back on topic and to sum up, Rihanna being a billionaire baby mama, I think it matches up with her image. I think it does match up with her image. Not to say that that's the best image to have, not to say that she shouldn't have that image, but I think it is on par with her image. And I think that Rihanna, I feel like she can navigate that better than some other people could. And I think it's because maybe we just see Rihanna as being a free spirit. So Rihanna, she can get away with it and not have to deal with so much of like stigma and like negative backlash or anything like that. And she can work around that better than the average woman, especially the average black woman, can. So, me personally, I would prefer to see Rihanna, married, doing the more traditional thing, quote unquote. But, you know, that's not what Rihanna wants. And, I respect that. And Rihanna, ASAP Rocky, and their child, they'll all be okay. They'll manage. And I also think that some people may have an issue with it because of like respectability politics, where it's like, oh, a black woman, Rihanna of her caliber, oh, she should be married because it's a good look for other black women. Like Rihanna somewhat is like a representation of other black women as well. And other black women may see themselves reflected in Rihanna, at least in some way. But that's just not how the chips fell in this situation. But that's all I gotta say for the moment about this. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below. And to the next video, adios and goodbye for now.